Welcome into another episode of Full Count Detroit. Today we have a featured guest with us, Isaac Zocco, back for his second time on the show. Today we're talking about the Home Run Derby and All-Star Game. We go from Full Count Detroit to Full Count All-Star Game. Home Run Derby last night. Cal Raleigh gets the win. I mean, impressive Home Run Derby, I thought, in my opinion. But I'll hear what you thought about the Home Run Derby, Isaac.
He was absolutely raking lefty. He switched to right-handed in the first round. He kind of struggled a little bit, switched bats around, but he ended up switching to lefty for the entire home run derby and ended up absolutely dominating. I was secretly cheering for him the whole time. I picked him at MLB the show, so it's pretty excited.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy what how far Cal Raleigh's come. You know, last year he had a solid season, but really the torpedo bat, and it's another thing that I think there's a huge understanding that I think it would be a huge like a great I'm trying to think of the word right now, investigation and how much the torpedo bat would help in a home run derby because you're trying to hit that sweet spot, and obviously a lot of these guys like Jazz Chisholm we saw he's probably had the worst performance last night with 3 home runs.
Yikes!
But it's like if he, I mean, it was after the home run derby, he said he wasn't trying to ruin his swing, which makes 100% complete sense. It's one of those things. He's not a huge power guy like most of the other guys. Like O'Neal Cruz just hits hits the ball. I mean, 115-foot home runs. That's beyond like thinkable. And I've never seen anybody hit the ball over the chop house in Atlanta. And I think I saw that like 3 or 4 times from O'Neal last night. That was impressive. But it's just like guys who can go out and hit home runs. It's just those are the guys who obviously have the advantage. And that's why guys like Jazz Chisholm, I don't think should be in the home run derby because I don't think it's as exciting. But he said if he gets over 20 home runs, he could do it. But I think it's definitely more exciting when you have guys who can hit 120-mile-per-hour baseballs like O'Neal Cruz. And I
Yeah,
mean, I don't know what you thought about it, but I thought it was a pretty good overall home run derby.
you know, I was watching it. I was really entertained by it. It kind of sucks Acuna wasn't in it, but again, I get it. Um, when you go back to the swing, like ruining the swing, I think of Miguel Cabrera back in the day. He was asked so many times to do it, but he just wouldn't do it because all I thought about was a team. Who else was saying that yesterday on an interview? Somebody else was saying it. How Pete Alonso said the Mets were in a good spot and he didn't want to hurt anything. They barely get days off and that he just wants to focus on rest so he can be the best version of himself when they come back.
Right. I mean, it makes 100% sense if you're looking at it from that point. But if you're looking at it from that fan aspect, you obviously want to see the best power hitters in the MLB in it. That's why we saw Cal Raleigh. He had the second most home runs ever in a home run derby or going into a home run derby in the regular season, other than Barry Bonds in 2001. And Barry Bonds is the greatest power hitter of all time. But it's if you have other guys like I don't know who we got in second place, or we have Kyle Schwarber, and Schwarber was in a bunch of home run derbies previously. And then you got like Judge was in a home run derby in 2017. He had 30 home runs going into that one. Giancarlo Stanton in 2016. We're just not seeing that same level of guys. And we'll have our top 10 home run derby performances draft in a couple minutes here. But it's great seeing and the story behind Cal Raleigh and his family being in it. I thought was so cool with his little brother being the catcher and his dad being the pitcher. I mean, that's got to be an advantage. You got T. Raleigh after the home run derby in his interview. One word is greatness, and I think that's exactly what we saw last night. Cal Raleigh became the first catcher in MLB history to win the home run derby, the first outright switch hitter to win it, and he won by a singular inch over Brett Rooker. And I got a question for you. If Brett Rooker would have beat Cal Raleigh, you got Rooker, Raleigh, Caminero, and then O'Neal Cruz. Out of those four, who do you think takes it?
O'Neal Cruz.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, Caminero, he was really good, and like last week I talked about how I think McKinstry should have gotten over him, and then McKinstry does get in. Great story from Caminero. Remind me of when Juan Soto did it a couple years ago. And he was really good in Los Angeles. With they had it in at the Dodgers Stadium. But we'll get into our home run derby draft, and I will give you the first overall pick. We got our top home run derby performances of all time. This goes back to when the Derby became a thing in 1985. But it's the best performance. It's not the best home run derby overall. Isaac, who are you going to take with your first overall pick?
I'm obviously going to take the 2023 Vlad Jr. I mean, bro, he broke the record for all-time home runs. His dad was a former champ, so I'm gonna go 2023 Vlad.
Yeah, I think that's obviously the number one overall pick. And number two, this is one that I didn't really know about until a little while ago. Josh Hamilton in 2008 at Yankee Stadium, 518-foot home run. We thought we saw a 513, 518 in 2008 at Yankee Stadium. Hit a home run on 13 consecutive swings, a feat that's never been accomplished. And then, but he didn't win the Derby. He lost it to Justin Morneau. I mean, if he would have beat Morneau, that might be really, you can't pass Vlad. 91 home runs in a single derby is just an incredible feat. But I'm going to go Josh Hamilton with my pick.
My next pick, I'm gonna go Julio Rodriguez, 2022, the year before Vlad. 81 total home runs, uh, 32 in the first round, which and 31 in the second, which is I think the if not the most in the first and second round combined. I think I don't know.
It's got to be up there.
Yeah, but I'm taking Kumala, dude, 2022 as my second pick.
All right, I'm going to go with Pete Alonso in 2021. Coors Field,
Mm.
74 home runs, 23 in the final round, wins a second derby in a row. That's who I'll go with in my second.
My third, I got Giancarlo Stanton, 2016 at Petco Park with 61 total home runs. Absolutely demolishing balls like he does. Yeah, I'm taking him.
I'm going to go with the Todd father, Todd Frazier in 2015 at Great American Ballpark, winning on a walk-off home run, the first of the timed era, which is a completely different thing for the MLB Home Run Derby now. I mean, we saw last night how long it would take to do a home run derby if there was outs. Like, if
Yep.
if there was 10 outs, we would be there all night long. I mean, there was a point where like Caminero, I think it was Caminero was going, and he would swing like every four balls. So
Oh
it's
my
like
goodness.
it would take forever for a guy to go through it. But I'll go with Todd Frazier, my number three.
My number four, I'm gonna go Bryce Harper in his hometown team, Washington D.C. I mean, the legendary bat flip. Little leaguers were doing it at the time. Um, for my fourth round pick, I'm gonna go Bryce Harper.
I'm between two right here. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Juan Soto in 2022 at Dodger Stadium, the second youngest home run derby champ by just one day behind Juan Gonzalez. Took down Alonso when Alonso was going for his three-peat and then won the final. So he's one of my favorite players of all time. I'm gonna go with Juan Soto.
For my final pick, this one's a little underrated in my opinion. I remember watching it. Yoenis Cespedes won it
Ooh,
without being an all star, mind you, while
that's
hitting tape
impressive.
measure shots.
That's impressive. I'm gonna go with I'm between two here. So we've got pretty much Vlad's off the board, Hamilton, Alonso. Here's one. Ken Griffey Jr. to win his third home run derby. Said he wasn't going to do it. Guess what he does? He comes out, wins it. Third home run derby. He's the only person to win three home run derbies. Cal Raleigh was the fourth Mariner to win it, but Griffey's won three, so Raleigh won this first. But I think Cal Raleigh, I wouldn't say it's up there as a top performance, but it was definitely just one of those solid home run derby performances. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't like an amazing home run derby, but it was just one of those middle of the pack, I would say above average home run derbies.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's been a lot of bad home run derbies, but I think it's really hard when you just see a bunch of MLB athletes going out there and crushing home runs. It's one of the greatest things in the world. But I mean, where would you put this home run derby? Say you got a top 20 home run derby. Where would you position this home run derby?
Just out of the just out of the top 10.
Yeah, I like
Just
that.
out of it.
I like that.
It wasn't good enough for the first round wasn't good enough for it to be in the top 10. I mean, he only had 15 home runs
Right.
in
I
the
think
first round.
yeah. I mean, a storyline too is like his brothers, and then only winning by that 1 inch for Brent Rooker. But
Yeah.
it just, I mean, there's another funny thing. I have to pull them up here. But Vinny Pasquantino during the home run derby had some amazing tweets during the home run derby. He's talking about how, yeah, I'm Cal Raleigh, and yeah, I just hit home runs for a living, and I'm just so athletic. I'm just so athletic. But let me see if I can find some of them here.
Shout
But
out Pat McAfee too.
I thought that was good.
Cal Riley with the fattest ass in the MLB. I mean,
I thought that was good. Yeah, let me see. I got him pulled up here. Vinny Pasquantino. Let's see here. Got a couple here. Let me find some of the good ones. Yes, O'Neal Cruz is terrifying to play first base against when he's hitting, if anyone is wondering. Um, another thing too is when Junior Caminero got robbed. Oh my
that
gosh.
was so funny. Uh,
If we if we
that
could
kid
get
had money on the game, dude. He had money on Cal Riley. That was an amazing catch, by the way.
No, it was. That kid made an athletic grab. And it was but yeah, like it'd be so interesting to see if the kids like were told out there to go try and rob home runs and they
Yeah.
didn't
But
count.
then, I
Like
don't know if he got in trouble for it or,
you can't get them in trouble for
you know,
that.
I don't want to say this, but the Pete Alonso, when he was dancing while the kid got hurt.
That
Oh my
was
gosh.
insane.
That was
No,
so,
and then he was deadlifting a couple years too ago.
oh
That might
gosh.
have been when he lost to Juan Soto.
Yes, it was first round.
Oh
Did
my
all that for
goodness.
nothing, but
But here's another one from Vinny Pasquantino. So sometimes I go out to mom visits when Sal or Freddie with Esteves, Zirpa, and Cruz, where they only speak Spanish, and I have no clue what is being said, but I give a good vamo at the end, so I feel like I contributed. Oh my goodness. But yeah, the home run derby is, I think it's one of the greatest things baseball has. And that just adds to the All-Star game weekend. Tonight we got the All-Star game, and I think that's another thing is you think about the Pro Bowl, you think about the NBA All-Star game, the NHL All-Star game. None of them are really all that good. They've had to change the formats of things, and now it just becomes boring. But baseball will forever and always be baseball. Maybe tomorrow we'll do a top all-star games of all time, but today we're going to break down the rosters and who is on those rosters. We've got six Tigers. Six Tigers are on this. In the National League, we'll go to the starting lineup. Batting first is Otani, Acuna, Marte, Freddie Freeman, Manny Machado, Will Smith, Kyle Tucker, Francisco Lindor, Pete Crow Armstrong, and then Paul Skeens on the mound. In the American League lineup, it is Gleyber Torres, Riley Green, Aaron Judge, Cal Raleigh, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Ryan O'Hearn, Junior Caminero, Javi Baez, Jacob Wilson, and Tariq Skubal. There's a good representation of Tigers, and I'll get your thoughts on it. Who is who do you want? Would you all right, here's the question. Would you rather see Paul Skeens and Tariq Skubal go the whole 9 innings just versus each other? That's the only all-star pitchers. Or would you rather see a guy like Zach McKinstry play every position?
hmm. I don't think, well, it's the All Star game. You got to give some other people some love, you
Right.
know, as pitching. I would love to see Zach McKinstry play all nine at the All Star game. I don't think, has that ever been done?
I don't think anybody's ever played two. No, somebody has to have played two. Like I feel like Riley
Yeah,
Green. No, Riley Green went from right to left, I think, last year.
maybe.
But nobody had to have played four. There's no way
I
anybody's
mean,
played four.
all 9 innings. Can we get him an inning on the mound, a
Not even an
inning
inning. Just
behind the
let him
plate?
toss a pitch.
I
Just let
know.
him toss a pitch.
Let him,
Give him the
yeah.
ceremonial first pitch and then move him to second base.
Uh,
Oh, that'd be great. But on the American League reserves, we got Jonathan Aranda, the Rays, Byron Buxton of the Twins, Jazz Chisholm of the Yankees, Alejandro Kirk of the Blue Jays, Stephen Kwan, Guardians, Brendan Lau with the Rays, Brent Rooker, the A's, Bobby Witt, Royals. And then to our replacement picks, we have Randy Rosarena, Junior Caminero, Zach McKinstry, Isak Paredes. Alex Bregman is injured, will not play, as well as Jeremy Pena, Julio Rodriguez, and Jose Ramirez. I mean, that's It's an all-star game, and I get that, but there are some elite players here and some guys who are definitely getting some love for having some really good seasons so far. Guys like Isaac Paredes, who probably isn't that quote-unquote all-star caliber player. Zach McKinstry isn't that all-star caliber player, but the seasons they're having so far, and I'll get your thoughts on who do you think out of these reserves is having a season where they may not get back to that second all-star game?
Um, I mean, we like I want Zach McKinstry to do really well,
Right.
but this this is his first All Star game,
Right.
if I'm not mistaken. In how many years he's been in the league?
He's been this would be his third season where he's on pace to play more than 140 games.
Yeah,
Which I mean, he's been in the league for 5 years,
yeah.
but this
This
is
is
the
his
first
first
one where
All
he's
Star game. He's still young.
right. I mean, he's got to be 28, 27.
Yeah,
But
he's still young. He's, I mean, his season right now. He even had a good year last year, in
yeah,
my opinion. I mean,
he's 30 years old. That might also put in a little
uh,
wrench too. So he may not, but
but I mean, there's other guys like that didn't like in the National League that didn't really deserve it, in my opinion. Was Jake
right. And we'll get to the
Mizalowski?
National League here in a second.
Okay,
But like
yeah,
I'll say Zach McKinstry because I think out of the guys like Aranda's, I think he's 28 and he's hitting 300 this year. But he might even be younger than that. But Buxton, that's another one. Buxton might not get back to one just because health is such a big issue with him. Jazz has got a decent future ahead of him. Alejandro Kirk is another one too, where it's like he may not get back to one if he doesn't have a good season. And then Stephen Kwan, I think, is 100% getting back to some. So is Brandon Lau. Brett Rookers, if he can just keep that power surge going. Bobby Witt's going to be an all-star till the end of his career, pretty much. But like, yeah, I mean, I think it's really between McKinstry, Arozarena's a tough toss-up one, and then probably Alejandro Kirk or Byron Buxton. But I think Buxton has the talent, but it's just all about if he can stay healthy, and that's a
mhm,
huge thing. We'll get to the pitchers here. We got Chris Bubik of the Royals, Aroldis Chapman of the Red Sox, Hader of the Astros, Andres Munoz of the Mariners, Shane Smith, the White Sox lone guy, Brian Wu of the Mariners, and then on replacement picks, we got Joe Ryan, Casey Mize, Carlos Estevez of the Royals, Carlos Rondon of the Yankees, Drew Rasmussen of the Rays, and then Hunter Brown, Garrett Crochet, Jacob DeGrom, Max Fried, and Yasiel Kikuchi will not pitch in the All Star game. There's some solid pitchers here, and there's some good guys. Like I love that they're getting love. Like Brian Wu's having an amazing first half, and 100% deserves to get that love. Casey Mize is there's Casey Mize. I mean,
yeah,
it's either a good outing or it's like he either goes 7 innings and it's 3 earned runs or less, or it's 4 innings on 6 earned runs. Which I mean, we've experienced that quite a few times with him. But he's having an
mhm,
amazing season, nonetheless. The 1-1 is finally getting that love he deserves. But yeah, there's some guys on here like Degrom finally getting back to that All Star game. Max Fried getting to that All Star game first year with the Yankees. Crochet. All three of those guys, plus Scooble, and Chris Bubik and Brian Wu, to be honest. That's six AL Cy Young candidates right there. And it's nice to see that they all get in. Usually there's a snub. We'll get into our snubs after we go through the roster. But there's a lot of good guys on this team. I mean, it's always odd to see the guys like Shane Smith get in where he's got a 4.25 ERA with the White Sox. So that's good to see. But on the National League, we'll go to our reserves. Pete Alonso, Corbin Carroll, Ellie De La Cruz, Brendan Donovan, Hunter Goodman of the Rockies, Matt Olson, Kyle Schwarber, Kyle Stowers of the Marlins, Eugenio Suarez of the Diamondbacks, Fernando Tatis of the Padres, and then James Wood of the Nationals. There's no
wow.
reserves on that, or no replacements, I should say, on that reserves team. Um, who's your pick in the National League to come in and get a quality at bat and maybe do something for this National League team out of those
You know,
guys?
I got Ronald Acuna. I mean, sees the ball well. Uh, First at bat back, absolute tank. He's just been. He's an all star, starting a month late. That to me is really impressive. He's played 20, 30 less games than his other teammates, other people, and he's still an all star. He's still swinging it. Yeah.
I mean, he's having a really good season. And then actually for pitchers, we got Jason Adam of the Padres, Edwin Diaz, trumpets of the Mets. Mackenzie Gore, the Nationals, Clayton Kershaw, the Dodgers. He's a legend pick. I mean, we'll talk about that in a second. Randy Rodriguez having an amazing season with the Giants out of the bullpen. Logan Webb for the Giants, and then replacement picks. We got Roberto Suarez, Andrew Abbott, who's having an amazing season. I don't know how he didn't get in originally. Trevor McGill of the Brewers, David Peterson of the Mets, Adrian Morejon of the Padres, and then Jacob Mizorowski of the Brewers. We'll get into that one too. There's a lot to highlight on this National League pitcher side of things. And then Matt Boyd, the former Tiger, will not pitch in the All-Star game. Freddie Peralta, Robbie Ray, Chris Sale, Zach Wheeler, and then Yoshinobu Yamamoto, all in the same boat. Where do you want to start? You want to start with Kershaw or Jacob Mizorowski? Because there's a lot to unpack with both of them.
Jacob Mizorowski, I don't get me wrong, absolute stud. He can
100%.
pitch. He can pitch. Right?
100%.
But in your first 5 starts in the MLB, does not get you a spot on the roster on the All Star.
Right. I mean, I'd have to deep dive more into what Paul Skeens did last year in the first half. Like, Mizorowski, he's pitching amazing. Don't get me wrong. Mizorowski's having an amazing season. But it's like 4-1. He's got a 2.81 ERA. 5 games started, 22 or 25.2 innings pitched, 33 strikeouts with a .9 whip. That's only 25 innings. Let's compare him to, let's just toss out, let's pick somebody on this National League. Let's just think about on this National League, who do we have here? I mean, there's definitely some options. Let's go with Framber Valdez of no, it's not. Let's go with someone who's on this. Let's go with Andrew Abbott, who had to get in to be a reserve as well. Same boat. Andrew Abbott versus Jacob Mizorowski. Andrew Abbott, so Mizorowski had the 25 innings pitched. Andrew Abbott ended up with, as it loads, 91 innings pitched. He's 8-1 with a 2.07 ERA, 16 games started, 83 strikeouts with a 1.80 whip. Or is it 1.08 whip, I should say. And Andrew Abbott had to get in via the replacement as well. I don't think a guy who pitches 25 innings should be in the All-Star game.
No.
And I get you have to get guys who are going to actually pitch in the All-Star game.
And like you also gotta think about like he's kind of the face of the league right now.
Yeah, but
He's
I mean,
really popular.
I think he has to do more to be that face of the league. Like
Yeah.
it's 25 innings pitched. Yeah, it's hard to say. But
Like
we'll get I mean,
he's all over social media.
yeah.
I mean, the kids are drooling over him because he got a 98-mile-an-hour slider. Reminds me of Johnny Donnie, but he's he's a good pitcher. But 25 innings won't cut it for me.
No, 100%. I'm in the same boat. Like the thing here with Clayton Kershaw is we saw the same thing with Pujols and Miggy. That was what 2022 when they were at Dodger Stadium. The legend pick is cool, but then again, it's like if you're gonna have a legend pick, there's nobody on the AL to have a legend pick. Like who is Unk in the American League? They're really
Young. I mean,
there's
American
nobody
League's pretty young.
there's nobody on that side that's like about to retire. Like I'm trying to go through like Aroldis Chapman is really he deserves to have an All-Star this year.
Yeah.
But
Um,
there's not anybody in the East. There's
I mean, I'm
not
gonna. I mean, I'm gonna go look it up right now. Who is
there's
unstatus in the
nobody
American League?
there's nobody in the Central and there's nobody I can think of on the West. But yeah, like Kershaw, I mean, he's having a solid season. He got 300,000 or 3,000 strikeouts, not 300,000, which is
No.
impressive. 100% impressive. One of the best. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. One of the best pitchers of all time, Clayton Kershaw. One of the best pitchers of this generation, if not the best. Um, but yeah, there's nobody in the American League that would come close to that legend pick. But yeah, I Clayton Kershaw. I think it's cool they did this
I'm.
legend pick, especially with Pujols and Miggy a couple years ago. And then I'm trying to think who else had it. I don't think anybody else had it when they did it with him. But what are your thoughts on them going back to the normal? Do you have something?
Yeah, I do.
Go
I.
ahead.
You know, it, a legend pick. They're supposed to be on their last season, right?
Right.
So this is why I don't think it's really that. I was gonna say Carlos Santana,
That's not bad. I think
but
he'll
he's not
get it
on
in a
his
couple
last
of
season. I
years.
don't think.
Yeah,
Maybe he is. I don't know with
he'll
the
get in a
Sox are.
couple of years.
But that's who I was gonna. I was probably gonna say, but
Yeah, I can't. I don't think there's anybody else in that in the
I mean, if
American
Justin
League.
Verlander was still in the American League than him.
Yeah, 100%.
But
Max Scherzer too. I didn't even think
yeah,
about those two guys.
yeah,
Scherzer's hurt though with the Blue Jays, I think, right
yes.
now. What are your thoughts on the MLB going back to the normal jerseys with just the
Oh,
All-Star patch? I think it's the
I
wonderful,
love it. I love it.
but
You know, I remember watching it at City Field on my birthday. Those are my favorite jerseys of all time. Them are the Reds jerseys. The
yeah,
Reds All Star Game jerseys for the Tigers. I mean, you have the stripe across the hat.
I think the hats are sick this year.
Yes, I,
I think the hats are really good this
I
year.
do like them.
But we'll wrap it up here. We got our home run pick and then our unexpected heroes of the All-Star game. Let you get the first honors. Let's do one for the AL and the National League. Who is your American League home run pick and National League home run pick? Both of them.
My American League home run pick. Oof. I got Javi Baez. A little underrated, but he's got that big leg kick, got that launch angle. He's got to send one out.
That's what they're all about these days is launch angle. Who's your National League pick?
Acuna. You know, I think he if the National League wins, he's gonna win MVP.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. In
Um,
Atlanta.
I don't want
Fine.
I don't want the National League to win. I picked the AL. That's who I think's gonna win. But
I mean, the American League's on like a huge winning streak, I think, right now.
oh my gosh, yeah, they're on like yeah.
I think it's pretty large. In the American League, for my home run pick, though, I'm gonna go with the Big Dumper, the greatest nickname in all of sports. Cal Raleigh to go deep for the American League and the National League. I'm gonna go with Marte Parte. Ketel Marte is going to go deep. He's batting three for the National League. Who is your picks? Comment them down below. And then who's our unsung heroes for each team? Zach, who do you think is going to be that guy that comes in and has potentially an MVP caliber game?
Ooh, they're not starting right. They have to come in.
Yep, yep.
I think Zach McKinstry is a one and done here. I
That'd
think
be
he comes in.
awesome.
I think he goes 2 for 2 with two doubles in an insane play in the infield.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. I was going to say the same thing, but you go with Zach McKinstry. I will go with, let's go with, trying to think here. Randy Rosarena is an option. So is Junior Caminero.
Randy
I'm
Rosarena
fully on
had
the
a good year.
Caminero board now. After that home run derby performance, I'm fully on it. But you went with an American League guy, so I'll go with the National League guy. I'm gonna go with the guy who could be a Tiger in 2 weeks. 3 weeks? Do the Tigers need a third baseman? Eugenio Suarez is gonna come in and go deep. 450 feet to dead center.
Yes.
Eugenio Suarez, the former Tiger, future Tiger too. But that does it for this episode of Full Count Detroit. We changed things up. Let us know if you guys like what we did today. But that does it for this episode of Full Count All-Star Game Break. Thank you for listening. Be sure to tune in tomorrow and for the rest of the week. That does it today. Thank you for listening.